What's up, Mugs? Did you get the divine chugs today? So funny. What's up? What's up? What's up? Hi. Hi, hi. Listen, y'all. This song here. Okay, let me back it up a little bit, y'all. Today was different. You know, I took my ride and I seen not even a rainbow. It was just rainbow colors aligning. And then I had the sun over here. And, you know, I'm like, God, what is going on? What does this mean? And it wasn't even God that answered me. It was actually my brother. Like keep going and trust the process. His little gangster self. And I know it was him because as soon as I got home, and I don't watch TV or anything, y'all, but this is just understand these different levels. You know, it's infinity and beyond in the spiritual form. Transformer, Optimus Prime. Y'all be coming at me. It's okay. I get home and I see this video that just boom, and it was a dog, y'all, like a dog. So a dog, how does that remind you of your brother, Mandy? Well, my brother was a gangster bro, and he was the last one to die this year in my family. And he done some things like fuck the police. Like, I guess I'm at work one time, y'all, and he's in my front yard, like tell him the, you know, 5050 to suck it. And I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with my brother? Like, and I've come a long ways to understanding him. Was he right or wrong? That's not my choice. That's him and God. But him of all people. And I didn't wear my twin's ring or my brother's ring because I got this on my own. And I know they're with me. Like, it's so many levels, y'all. And so as I get home and I'm sitting back, because I have been trying to avoid social media. Like, hey, I just came through all this trauma, all this. And I'm just ready to chill and celebrate like they say out here. But I'm already celebrated every day just by the grace of God and by having everything that I need and want that I don't even, you know, and it doesn't have to be money, y'all. It doesn't. So I come home and I go in the shower. I had plans of getting my hair braided again, and nope, God said you're not going anywhere. And of course I'm listening because my last real, like, bam, Mandy, you failed again. Well, not failed, but you learned your lesson yet, Mug? Was when I locked myself out because I had to let go of control. Even down to the shower, before I just took a shower, I always wash my hair first, and then if I'm going to shave or anything, I've always just washed my hair first. It's long, and I just didn't want it everywhere when I'm shaving or trying to scrub my body. And today I had to let my hair hang, dry, and shave first. And I did it. Now listen, y'all, this is different levels. Like, we gotta let go of control. We have to let go of a lot of things that we would never realize because it's all we've ever done or it's all that's been instilled in us. But don't you ever sit there and be like, damn, this is fucking boring, or man, I don't deserve this shit. Y'all know the shit that I've been through even down to before my brother died. Okay, so a couple years after my mom died, everybody's like, oh, you need to go see a counselor, Mandy. You lost a lot of your family. You're losing it. No, Mugs, don't let motherfuckers tell you anything. Because the reason why I was losing it, because I didn't have my confidence or my standards and boundaries up. And I was taking the bullshit, which made me look crazy. Because I would argue back with the motherfucker, like, how you gonna disrespect me like that, bitch? Like, how you gonna play me like that? To where, you know what? I'm glad God sat me down because these motherfuckers up here, and I even realized with my healing journey and like, okay, I'm healed, let's go, I'm out. No, I wasn't just the light to heal from all my family's death, the darkness here, and what I didn't go inside and start healing traumas and stuff, y'all. I was going crazy. When I first started the journey, I called my friend. I said, hey, you know, I'm fucking losing my mind. I need a counselor. I need to go to I never said this in my life, y'all. I need to go to the crazy house. I really said that because, but thank God she knew what the hell was going on because she said, Mandy, calm down. You're going through a spiritual awakening. I said, I don't want this shit. I don't want this shit. Who wants to fucking deal with this shit? And that was just the beginning. That wasn't even when I started going in or having to face my demons or my dark side or even my freaking weaknesses, to where my weaknesses a lot of us have is like, you know, addiction of sex or just, you know, seductive. That's all that for me, yes. I'm on here. I might do my dancing, look seductive, but y'all don't see me, like, and even if I was in just a bra and panty, you shouldn't judge me, but I just be in my own world, going back to, it's just, it's amazing, but people gotta understand that, even down to me taking that shower today, or even when I go do my drives to Michigan, it's an hour away, and I'll take different routes. But sometimes I'll get lost because I'll be thinking, in my own zone, because I'm never on my phone when I'm driving, never. Unless it's my children or emergency. I don't. Like, before I'd be the biggest texter, but I went through some shit where I had a friend back in the day. His wife was texting and boom, she's been paralyzed ever since and different, y'all. And that's just not about following rules and regulations. It's literally you're driving. You have a responsibility, mugs. To where even I was in a wheelchair like in 2017 and I was in a wheelchair because I have osteoarthritis and deteriorating bone disease in my feet. To where I was like, I went to the hospital because I couldn't walk no more, y'all. I was pushing my feet to the limit, like beyond the limit, to where I didn't know when to stop because I was always a provider, always a worker. So I go there and they put me in a wheelchair and they said if I keep walking, I'm going to be paralyzed. I'm like, what you mean, mug? He's like, you tell me, like when I'm walking, my feet go like this, like my bones are just. I was like, all right, because coming from Florida in 2017, the first time to take care of my mom, I was still like, I don't know, I did some crazy shit here where these motherfuckers like, hey, you can't get away with that this time. I said, who says? Watch me. Like I was invisible. When people did me dirty, I'll go to their job and, just put a nail under the tire, anything. Like, that was ignorant, y'all. 2 wrongs don't make a right, but it felt good at the time. Because, bitch, I didn't have no bad intentions out here. I like to live life. A little bit on the, take chances more than usual people. To where I was even doing drugs, y'all. To where I did some heavy drugs. I did heavy drugs in Florida to where I came out of it because I didn't go into it with the heavy drug. I ended up getting with somebody that did not even tell me they were doing this drug because the way I was raised, I never wanted to get with what they call a crackhead, but we can't judge. We can't judge. So it's like 6 months to a year in, you guys. I'm drinking. I'm feeling good on my birthday. And this mug says, hey, take a hit of this. Now, y'all know back in the day, the drugs were good. The drugs now, you won't know if they're trying to kill you, what you do. But back in the day, they were good. I took one hit of that, y'all, and I was like, whoa, that's fucking awesome. To where that, what is it called, crack? That stuff will have you go back and back and back and back and back and back and back. And you'll ruin your whole family over it. To where I gave my kid's father a year to quit because, like, even though it was like that, I never got back to the first hit. But when it became a problem is when we didn't have food, I'm going through restaurants saying, hey, you messed my order up. Back in the day, you could get away with that without a receipt and all that. Like, God's grace and mercy had me and my children and all of us. To where, like, we cool now, I forgive for everything, but, like, I had to take accountability, drinking or not, or all tipsy, and I tried that drug and I got addicted. But the thing is, I never asked him to get it. This drug was what he would get paid on Fridays, because he had a good working job. He'd come home, and he already went through the hood. He works with the people in the hood. And he brings it, and once you get that one hit back in the day, mugs, listen, Linda's, to where I would even chance my life all the time, because I always thought I was like a true thug. Like, any drug or anything I did, I always got this. By the grace of God, all them drunk nights, I'm still here. And when I go in the hood, I risk my life, y'all. Like you're in the hood, they either think you're a police or they think that you're a cop. Or police, or what is it? Police, or what do they call it? Or either a snitch or I don't know. I forget the other one, but it doesn't matter. To where I ran over somebody's foot one time. To where there was these people, I was on A1A, I'll never forget. I was going from Fort Pierce, Florida to Vero Beach on the East Coast. A1A, y'all mugs, who's ever traveled Florida knows where that's at. So, I'm high, but I still go do it because I know I could drive. And I never, as much as he got on my nerves and shit, I don't never want to jeopardize anybody. If he tells me he can't drive, I respect that. To where I ran over somebody's foot, to where I seen these two people playing chicken. Chicken? I didn't know what the fuck chicken was. They were going head first, and neither, I hear them like, let's go, let's do this. To where neither of them gave up. To where somebody, I don't know what happened. I went in the grass and I hauled ass. Because one thing with me, my daddy taught me, you don't know shit, don't be nosy, don't stick around, even if you're shown. And not to lie, but don't ever offer information. Like, don't just offer that information. Extra information. To where I know somebody died. To where even up to like 6 months to a year ago, he came to visit my son when my son stayed here. And he came to visit, and he's always trying to talk to me, which is okay, I guess. But I told him, why don't we ask each other a question about the past? Because one thing about him, he's from Trinidad, and he always, I guess back then, you know, he's 14 years older, but he didn't look his age. Because, you know, I'm going to tell y'all, you islanders and colored people, y'all look good for your ages. Muscular, but we were on different levels, okay? And then he was also brought up totally different, to where he wanted to always fear my children so that they'll always listen. I'm like, you can't do that. Don't do that to our babies, to where he was. And, now, I'm so proud of him. It took them years, just like it took me years, but I'm not even saying he's right or wrong. It's just the way he was raised, y'all. Like, we all been raised however we are and however we seen. Like, how many of y'all be like, hey, I don't want to be like my mother. I don't want to be like me. I'm not trying to be out here. And I was a hoe at one time. I was. And what do I consider as being a hoe? I consider as being a hoe is like, if I had one every different day of the week or something, like, we've all been there, we lost it a little bit, but one thing I always kept with me is I never got married. I had 2 long-term relationships, but even from church, like, I have never stepped on married people's toes. I have had so many women and men married, you know, and this is no ego, y'all. This is where I'll be like, oh, Lord, just don't marry. Do you want that? And fairy tale love is the norm, y'all. We sit here, like, even me, I was like, you know, I want that fairy tale love. I've been working for that fairy tale love, to be the queen for that queen. And really, fairy tale love, no, I don't want fairy tale, because fairy tale is the norm. If you when you start this healing journey and you realize everything you've been taught and programmed and whatever you feel differently, and, you know, it's not fairy tale. It's fairy tale like, hey, I'm gonna find my love, but like, I couldn't even tell you. A phenomenal, universal, I couldn't tell you what I would call it now, but it's just not fairy tale no more, because in our reality, when we take back, and I'm not even going against the church, that's where I learned love, respect. It just wasn't, in church I was safe. At home, you never knew what the fuck was gonna happen next, man. I swear to God. I can laugh now because I healed from it, but from some real shit, y'all. And this is not just me, it's other people with all the traumas. To even where, like, Halloween's coming up, and I did post a Halloween video, but I do not like Halloween. I just feel it, and it's not against anybody who does. It's a spiritual thing with me. And it also goes back to my childhood, because we had to watch, what is that, Brady Bunch, Little House on the Prairie, Waltons, Dukes of Hazzard, so much. And I actually enjoy those things, but when you get older in your teenage years, you get babysitters and stuff, and you get to start watching scary movies and shit. Even to this day, look, I can't watch, I mean, I can, but I won't watch a scary movie because I will have nightmares. I will have nightmares. And that goes back to the childhood where I was like, okay, mom and dad's all around, let me watch a scary movie tonight. Bitch. I'm telling y'all, it's simple as that. It's really going with the flow, and nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm far from perfect, but I'm pure as can be. You know, I'm serious. Like, to where today I even texted my stepson to Florida. I said, you know what? Because, you know, they say the autistic children, get the fuck out of here. They want to give you a check to sit down, mugs. Because my autistic stepson, he had a lot of higher sensories. And that's actually what I've had as being a twin. But, like, when we were in the store and he's younger and he's being Optimus Prime, it was cute. It was cute. But then as he got, like, 13, 14, I was like, yo, Jojo, hey, maybe you want to calm it down a little bit. But in our reality, he was fighting those energies like Optimus Prime. It comes back to our inner child. Oh man, this is amazing. our inner child to cartoons we used to watch. Like, today when I seen the rainbow, this is so many different levels. I just see this now. Another perspective of this rainbow. But it wasn't a rainbow. It was just like a quarter of a line of a rainbow in the sun. And it goes back to like watching Rainbow Bright. Man, Care Bears, like their power, their Care Bear hearts through the universe. Oh my God, Mandy, really? And then let's go on another dimension right now, y'all. This is to these readers out here, and I know I keep going back to this part, but God has me doing it because it's nothing to do with anybody's doing anything wrong. But y'all gotta realize you guys are a big essential, a big key to this earth, to this universe, to this new world, whatever you want to call it. You guys are huge, and two of the main things that I see is either it's gonna be your karmics coming back, they're gonna come in and apologize, blah, 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 or it's over here to where you got a blessing that came in. Listen, y'all, and I'm going with love, grace, higher power, and my future person could be a reader. Like, I'm telling y'all, it's nothing against anybody. This is pure love and grace. This is to help people step forward a little bit, just like me. I'm on this too. But if you could come in and be like, hey, maybe if you'd let go of a little control. Like today's simple control today was me in the shower. In the shower, to where I went and shaved first before I even washed this long hair, where I always get the hair wet, let it stick back, and then I could just have a clear view. Like, even down to the route going where I'm going an hour away. Everything that we see, do, speak, has so many dimensions and different meanings. And it all starts very simple. It really came back to me when I started healing patients, because even down to this music, y'all seen I get commercial, I'm like, they're commercial, and I'll start talking. But my patient, I can't stand fucking commercials. Even when I watched TV back in the day, or music, or in the car radio, but I had to learn patience, y'all. I had to learn patience. To even now, I beat this. Like, I do a show without commercials. Even down to the airport, where I didn't have to pay no money. Because I be out of it. I got all that trap out of the box. Cubics, what is that called? A cubics thing when you do all that? Dude, my son was really good at that. My oldest son, he'd be like, damn, bud. I ain't even got the yellow yet together. Like, life is really what we make it, the choices, but it's truly letting go of control. Because okay, here we go back. I love you, Lord. I'm not even going to say why. Back to the readers. A lot of y'all know astrology. Just by whatever day this astrology says, that's what's, I need to speak to the people. I don't know astrology. I couldn't tell you Adam D, Steve Witt, but I could tell you what, I have a connection like yesterday or the day before. It was like a duality moon to me because I had a duality day. And when I looked out there, it was like half the moon. That's duality. Like, really go with what you feel. I don't care if you're the weirdest, most... Oh, when you first come out, just like me, people are like, who's that? They're weird, they're crazy. What the fuck? Yeah, she really lost all her family, had them traumas. They really got her. We're gonna look weird and crazy and blah, blah, blah because we're leaders. We're not followers. Every leader out here is gonna look weird, crazy, but no matter what, 99.999% of this earth, people, places, things have something to say no matter what. So fuck them all. Go with what you feel. Even this intuition, when I'd be like, God, that's crazy. Like, God would show me things years and years, like on this TikTok app about people, and I'd be like, no way. No way. Oh, yes, way. Yes, way. I'm telling y'all, go with what you feel. I don't care how crazy it is, how... We have to start going within, even with the mental battles, you know, people just waking up having mental battles of depression or not feeling worth it or self-sabotage. I woke up like that all the time, bub. So what the fuck am I here, man? Why am I here? It's nothing but bad luck, trauma, and bullshit in my big heart. Because you know what, guys? I never loved myself. And that's all this higher power is asking for us, to go inside and truly love ourselves and know we're worth it, but we never felt that our whole life. Never. I never did. until these past few years to now where I truly, okay, mugs, I got it. Like, it's deep in so many different levels, and it truly starts off with just being kind. If you wake up and you see somebody staring at you like me, I used to be like, what the fuck they staring at? They might as well take a picture. Maybe it's that spirit they see in us that we don't see, you guys. It don't always have to be negative or bad things about us, but that's all we're used to is people like jabbing at us, you know, telling us we ain't worth it, or you're a piece of shit, or you're a whore, or you're a slut, you got this, you got that. And it's all because that's what we're mirroring. That's who they are. To where that's what we become and we get used to, and it becomes the norm, to where when somebody comes like Mandy out of nowhere and she gets hurt and I'm over here like, bitch, you played me, and they're like, oh, that bitch got nerve to say that? You did, mug! But I should say it with grace and love, but I do now. And actually I have to apologize because the other day I was like, you know, they mocked me. Like, I should even came out here and said that, because when we're shown things, we have to have love and compassion and shut the fuck up. But that was me going to that 3D form of, is bitch still trying me? Yeah, y'all. It's a lot. But it truly starts out with just love and grace and simple things. Like, we just have, like, I never liked to be controlled, but you know what? That's what I allowed most of my life. Because that's actually what happened from when I was a child. I was controlled. Me and my twin, we had to do everything. So we were used to making everybody happy but ourselves. Because you know how many times me and my twin, we get mad or have an attitude. We didn't fight over who's washing and drying dishes that day or rinsing. Why are we fighting when these mugs just sit down fucking eating fucking snacks and playing a video game and mom and dad? Life wasn't fair to a lot of us in so many levels and so many perspectives and so many demons and so much trauma and so much really bad stuff that happened to us, y'all. But it's not easy to come through all this. It's not easy to, like, tomorrow I'm gonna wake up. There was days that I'd be really down or I'd be really high. It was never in the middle until I started smoking weed. I was able to balance it. Oh God, she smokes weed. So what? I don't take no pills out here unless I have to take an antibiotic or something. And I went from taking the most pills out in these streets looking like a fucking fiend to where I used to wake up, y'all, because I had pride and ego from, that was being raised in church, like, don't let nobody play you, you know. To where addictions aren't easy. They're not easy. Besides, I feel addictions are the hardest things, even above traumas and all that, because the addictions are what will cover up our feelings or how we should feel at that moment, because we got hurt, played, fucked up in the head. Them addictions will just numb it. Okay, so what happens? Your body and your brain, that's what you don't, we're not going anywhere else, because number one, we don't believe in ourselves. Number two, nobody's here to really help us. When we get sent to rehab, we get sent to motherfucking jail or whatever. Dude, I went to jail for stealing cheese at 18. I had to do it for cheese because my mom was making grilled cheese, and she said, Mandy, can you get a pack of cheese? To where my kid's father took me up to this, it's called Kroger's, to where he said, if you go steal that cheese, I'm leaving you. And I was like, in my mind, I'm thinking, it's okay, everybody leaves me anyways, I'll just walk home. Well, no, I didn't go to jail, I went to the police station. And he did end up picking me up from there, but I served 2 days in jail. That's where I learned spades. For stealing cheese. To where I got home, my mama laughed. Everybody laughed, even the judge. Did you get Kraft cheese? Like, bitches, this isn't funny. This is my life. Like, but I made the choice to do that. I made the choice to do that sacrifice for my parents, knowing that nobody gave a fuck what happens to me of the outcome. Because I didn't care about myself, y'all. I always was the little bitch or the little thing because my boundaries and standards weren't up, or it's just all I was used to. To where I would be like, motherfucker, stay away from me. Just don't ever come back. And they come back like 2-3 months later, especially my brother and my nephews. They would do so dirty, y'all. But I took it. It's my fault. I can take accountability, and that's what we all have to do out here. And we got to forgive ourselves and the people. Yes, we do. There's a lot of hard things on this journey and steps, but it's also a lot of people stop where just taking accountability. That's where my brother had stopped at the time. Yeah, it's not easy. But if you know deep in your soul and this faith, if you're happy where you're at, just do what you do, and you're gonna do what the fuck you want to do. You ain't listening to nobody. Hey, more power to you. Like, I'm not telling anybody they have to change their life, they have to do this. I'm just giving y'all some experience with the divine flow through me to help y'all, because I realized and sat back today and went for my drive was shown so many different levels and perspectives of life. To even this is like 2 months at the most. To where my mission is not done even right here. To where I re-signed the lease. To where I can give them a month's notice and go. To where, okay, my special person out here thinking about a date or something, just hit me up. You know, I can fly to you for the weekend because my appointments are every 2 weeks. I'm down for anything. To where I'm not scared no more. I am not scared. Fuck what people think. So even when I went to the counselor, because, okay, so my brother was on probation, and I went to counselor for like, I'll say like a year and a half at the most, to where I was like, I felt I was done with it, but I still kept going. To where my brother was on probation, and he had, my gangster bro, before he died, the PO and them, the court said, you gotta start going to counseling. So this mom, you know, it's a small town, has to go to the same counseling as me, and the first person he gets, when he gets, and mind you, she was always in her office. But the first person that comes out and calls him was my actual counselor, to where my brother went in there so fucked up and twacked out, to where they're the ones that got a hold of his PO, like, hey, he's on drugs. To where, you know, it was 50-50. He either lost it or he's smarter than this, whatever. I don't even care. To where I was like, to where he sat down and told her, hey, yeah, me and my sister sat down and, you know, I lived with her and we talked for 3 hours last night about whole energy, spiritual whole energy, that I told her she can't be having that. I was like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why do you always bring my name up everywhere you fucking go or try to destroy things? To where, you guys, you know what? I sat back, I didn't even get mad. I was like, you know what? I'm tired of this cycle. Something's different. To where I was already feeling I didn't want to go back. Like, I felt like I was good. Like, I felt like I'm good. To where my brother always would distract things because of his insecurities or whatever he was doing wrong and didn't take accountability. To where, when I went back there, I was like, because I only went back one more time, y'all, because he said a lot of things. And I wasn't mad at him no more because I felt I was leaving, and I was like, you know what? He's been doing this his whole life, so how the fuck is it any different now? We're just older, and he's still doing the same motherfucking shit. Was it right? No, not to me. Because he was always bashing me in some way or lying. He didn't live here. No, this was before he had the brain cancer. They found the brain cancer, and he ended up staying there. So I dropped him somewhere, and like I had to ask forgiveness to this person because I dropped him. I said, "Hey, he can't come back because he wouldn't leave." I'm like, "Bro, you got to fucking go." I can't. And it wasn't even just that, y'all. It was a lot. To where it was all my choice to take it. I allowed it. To where it would fuck me up bad. To where I'm defending myself. To where he's playing victim when we turn it. They say she's a bitch or she's crazy. Watch out. Like, what the fuck? I've been through it all, y'all, on different levels, different perspectives, different everything. Just being raised and from a very strict mother who didn't even do what she was strict on. Because my brother told me, he said, this is what he told me when he was literally watching a movie right here when he had the brain cancer. He said my mom was sitting, he came to the house one day, but she was upstairs with like 6 of his homeboys smoking weed. Now, mind you, we couldn't do anything. We were so sheltered and so religious, blah, blah, blah. Anybody did all that stuff, they were judged. You know, it's not right, but to where my brother came there one day, and he said, sis, I went upstairs, she's smoking weed with the homeboys. So he let it go on for a few minutes. She came downstairs, and because we live upstairs, downstairs home, and Brandon's sitting on the couch, and my mom goes up to him, and Brandon has a joint and says, here, Mom, hit it. And she said, boy, if you don't put that away, you're going to get your ass beat. I'm going to tell your father. And he said, shut the fuck up, Mom. I just seen you upstairs smoking with my homeboys. So, I never got to witness none of that. But damn, I wish I wasn't one of the predicaments because I was ready to go on. To where we got our ass beat with a lot of shit that we didn't deserve. But anyways, life is what we make it. Life literally is so many different levels. When I first started this journey, it was waking up because I had depression. I had all that anxiety, which is a higher level of energy. We just got to control it, which I was either too much or not at all. So where I had to wake up and just be like, I'm thankful for the breath to breathe today. But I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to be here, y'all. But I kept making it a pattern to where even my son, keeping on this journey. My son's like, Mom, I've never seen you worry so much. Like, in Florida, you were happy, blah, blah. And he's like, Mom, you don't even have to pay rent. Like, you got blessed with that. And I'm like, what does this motherfucker know? You know, I got internet, I got my phone bill, I got car insurance. I'm going to get that. To where he was right, Mom. Tell yourself every day you can't control what is out of your control. So this light bill that I'm worried about 2 weeks down the road, how am I going to get the money and all that? I can't control that. And we all still have lights 50 years later, mugs. Simple as that. God always provided, but like how much worry and doubt and blockage from us growing, period, over simple stuff like that. Or I always use this thing, oh yeah, I lent somebody $20, my phone bill due Thursday. That $20 I lent them, I have to have that because that's the rest of my phone bill. To where they wouldn't pay me or ignore me or we'll ruin a relationship or I'll go fucking knocking at your door, slash your tires. I didn't care over $20, which was wrong, y'all. I should have made sure I had my whole phone bill before I lent that $20 to anybody. I had to make sure I'm good first. But we're not taught that. We're just big heart, okay, and we always get screwed over, which is a pattern that we're used to. When something good comes along, we're like, what the fuck? Who is that? That's not God. Y'all, we really got to change our mind frame. And it starts with simple steps of just, like with me, was affirmations, even in my bathroom, like, I am worthy. Because nobody is perfect, and nobody's had the perfect life. Nobody's had the perfect life, and the pick of things. I'm telling you. Because the higher up you go, the more problems, the more money you make, and people just don't know what to do with it. They go to the strip club, which is fine, hey, but then your life, dude. Life is not easy sometimes, but it's truly simple, and it gets a lot easier the more I go back to like respect, love, gratitude. But it took a long time to get here because even these mental illnesses I told y'all I had, with anxiety and depression, you gotta know you gotta get to your weaknesses, to the root. What triggered my anxiety? What triggered me to be so fucking depressed? Well, number one, I was getting played all the time. I'm getting mad and depressed and angry, and then I feel like I'm not worth it. These motherfuckers keep trying me, and I thought that one would never do it, and you give them chance after chance after chance. To where my phone barely goes off. I went back to the roots, and this all took time because, you know, I'm denying half the problem. Like, whatever. They really disrespect me. That's why I get pissed and go off. No, bitch. I shouldn't even be around them kind of people. I shouldn't allow myself around people, family, the title family we call, ride or die for that family. Gangster, not gangster, fucked up over here, and you're related to half the motherfucking city. To where my dad, like, he worked 3 jobs, y'all, and he was one of my fathers, but the most solid one, even though I never seen him hardly, he always raised me to, like, and he must have known because he's one of the big last names up here, to always go through and keep going like you know nothing or play stupid. That's why I was underestimated most of my life, even down to my last whatever, and it's okay because that happens to all of us, or we do that to other people. The more energy we're putting out here to all these people, places and things, if we put that energy into ourselves and worry about ourselves, I'm telling y'all, once you start feeling the change and once you start feeling like, and you'll have a good day, you'll see a blessing come, but then the next day, like me, I would fail these tests that kept coming around, different places, people and things, and they were so simple. I would fail them because I didn't put myself first. Or I'm like, Lord, it's only 10 minutes, you can have the rest of my day. I was locked out for 8 hours and that was the last one. I failed, nope, the airport. See, nobody's perfect. But I guess I wasn't supposed to play this because, you know, I can't upload to TikTok. And I've seen that now. I have music ready to go. God's got me ready, but. And I'm not supposed to do it because this message is a lot for the TikTok people today. And to my readers, you guys are doing great. To the leaders out here, just always remember, our words are a shield. Our words are a weapon, sorry. Are a weapon, and what we say and what we see and what this higher power, I don't care if you're a reader out here and you start talking motherfucking nutty, crazy. Look, I love the ones that be like, and these are the ones I was just starting to see. And I'm not on here enough to be like everyone, this one, that one, but this one will be literally having a conversation with one of the karmic or whatever. Dude, you guys are fucking hilarious, and that means a lot because you're going there that people don't go. They're just talking. I love y'all with grace and love. Maybe part 2 because I'm ready to dance, but it's all in the higher power. I might just go get my hair braided now, you know. I can't predict anything. I have to go with the flow. And it's hard for a lot of us because, you know, you might have children or whatever. Besides those responsibilities, try to go with the flow and put yourself in this higher power first. I don't care if it's 5 minutes a day. My thing when I started, I was raised as this God, this, Jesus looked at me, curly, hair. I didn't have no understanding who this God was. Creation, the Bible is a great tool, but the people in the Bible are the people, it's us out here, y'all. It's the light. The heavens aren't gonna open, I promise. I can say that. I love y'all. Grace. Detach from the world. That's another thing. Detach. Anything that is not helping you, even just positive energy or people that are just miserable. Misery loves company. Then you become miserable. Then it's like, what the fuck? If I stayed home today, I wouldn't be all miserable. Yeah. And then what do? We keep doing it over and over and over. It starts in these tests. You'll see them. I've had so many on this journey, down to even days that I'm supposed to stay aligned and focus and not answer my door no matter who comes, or even if it's money that day, because I would hustle tree or whatever, but that's how I get through this journey. Besides, whatever. I love y'all. Have a great day. See you soon.